Welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me here today. As you can see, I have a bare face right now. I have no makeup on my face, and that is because I am going to be doing a full face of versed makeup. So future me, just jumping in real quick to mention that at the end of this video, I am also going to be talking real quickly about the March Detox Box, which features some products from Goop Glow. I forgot to mention that while I was filming this at the beginning of the video, so I thought I would just jump in real quickly to let you know that that will be coming up as well. As many of you probably know, Versed started as a skincare company, but they have recently branched out into makeup. Now, Versed was founded by Catherine Powers, and if her name sounds familiar to you, that is because she also started Merit. So that has created a lot of buzz around Versed going into makeup. So I have pretty much everything from their line. They sent me 3 of their products, including their brush, and then I went ahead and purchased some other items as well in order to round out my Versed collection so that I can do a pretty thorough review of their products for you. But speaking of Merit, I did want to mention real quickly that they have come out with a travel size in their Retrospect perfume. Now, I have reviewed this on my channel here a few times, and whenever I do, I always get a question or two about if they have samples of this perfume available, and I don't think they have samples available right now on their website, but now obviously they do have this travel size, which I believe is $34. So I just wanted to let you all know that this is now available in this travel size, which I think is really great because then you don't have to splurge on the full bottle if you're not ready to make that investment. But I did want to mention it real quickly because I do really love this perfume. I have it on today, and I personally feel like I smell amazing. And also, on the topic of perfume, for those of you who are not aware, I have started a second channel solely devoted to perfume reviews and discussions about perfume. So if you are interested in perfume, definitely go check out my second channel. It is called Trish Notes, and I just put up a review about my favorite Palo Santo perfumes, and the video before that is my favorite spring perfume. So definitely go check out that video. But let's go ahead and get to the topic at hand, and that is the Versed makeup line. So I am going to go ahead and get started with the skin tint that they have. It is called the Serum Skin Tint, and this is one of the products that they sent me. So when I was talking to the PR contact, they recommended that I get the shade darker than what I think I might actually need. So when I was trying to decide what color to get, I was leaning between 4W, which is light warm, and 5N, which is light medium neutral. And their PR person definitely said go for 5N because the shades are leaning a little bit on the lighter side. So I'm really glad that I got 5N because I really do feel like it is a good color match for me. Now, they are calling this a multi-serum skin tint, but I definitely feel like this is more of a foundation. And I believe on the website it says it gives light to medium coverage, but for me, I would say this is definitely medium coverage, and I only need 1 pump to cover my entire face. And I like to use my hands or my fingers to apply this product. Now, I know a lot of people like to use brushes and sponges when they apply their foundation onto their skin, but I really like the warmth of my fingers to do the work, and then finish with a brush if I feel like I need to do so. And they did send me their brush, so I can show you what that looks like. I really like how this applies onto the skin. I really don't think it has a serum-y texture. I feel like it's more of a hybrid between a serum and a lotion. Doesn't really feel like a serum foundation to me, but I really do like the texture of it. It smooths onto the skin very easily. It doesn't tug at all. It definitely feels like skincare going onto the skin. It doesn't feel too heavy. It just feels like a really nice moisturizing emollient type of lotion. And because I use my hands, I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands real quickly. And as I mentioned, they also sent me their multitasking brush, which is made for liquid and cream products. So I'm just gonna use this to just blend in the skin tint a little bit more. And I will say that even though it does have SPF 40, because I'm only using one pump of this skin tint, I don't really feel like it's going to be giving me the full SPF of 40. So that's also something to be aware of. You might want to be using additional SPF underneath this foundation if you're not using a full 2 to 3 pumps on your face, because you're probably not going to be getting the full SPF 40. So that is something to be aware of, not just with this product specifically, but with foundations in general. Even if there is SPF in your foundation, there's a good chance you're not getting the full SPF coverage if you're not using enough of that foundation. Now, Versed does make a concealer. They did not send it to me and I did not purchase it on my own. I already have several concealers that I really like and I just did not feel the need to get another one. So I think what I'm gonna do, and I mentioned this in a previous video where I was talking about some recommendations that other YouTubers had talked about, and that is the YSL Touche Eclat. I've really been enjoying this on top of foundation, so I think I'm just gonna apply this on top of the Versed Serum Foundation. And I really, really like this Touche Eclat. It's a product that's been around for a really, really long time, but I decided to give it a try after I saw Matilda on video talk about it, and it was in her year-end recommendations from 2024. And so I decided to give it a try for that video that I did where I was using YouTuber favorites. Oh, my kitty just cried in the background. All right, so. So anyway, I really ended up enjoying this product, and what I do is I just kind of tap it out here, just very lightly. So I let the warmth of my skin just allow that Touche Eclat and the rest of my makeup to kind of blend in naturally. So I think what I'm going to do next is apply bronzer. So I have 2 of the Versed bronzers, and I have the colors August and Away. And August is light medium and Away is medium tan. And then they have a third color, which is called Heat Wave, and that is tan deep, which I do not have, and they did not send me their bronzers, so these I purchased on my own. So I think what I'm gonna do is apply August, which is the light medium color, all over my face, and then I'm going to apply Away, the medium tan color, onto my eyelids. Now, Versed does make a liquid eyeshadow that I did not get. They did not send it to me, and I did not purchase it. And that's because I really don't like liquid eyeshadows. They just are not for me. I find them to be a little bit fussy. I never reach for them when I do get them. Like for instance, I did get the Lisa Eldridge liquid eyeshadow and I just never reach for it. So I decided not to purchase that one on my own. So for that reason, I think I'm going to apply the darker bronzer on my eyelids in lieu of an eyeshadow. Now, in terms of comparisons with the Merit bronzing stick, the Merit bronzer is definitely more balmy, it's more sheer, it's a little bit more dewy. This one is a little bit stiffer and it's not quite as balmy. You definitely can apply this directly to the skin, but I have been preferring to take the brush and then applying the brush onto the stick and then applying it to my face. And I really do still love using the Merit multitasking brush. I always forget the name of this brush that they have. It's their #1 brush, but I really, really love this brush for bronzer. This is pretty much the brush I always reach for when I want to apply bronzer. So I'm going to apply August all over my cheeks and on my forehead. And even though this bronzing formula is a little bit more on that stiff side and it's not quite as sheer and dewy as the Merit balm, I do find it to still be quite illuminating, which brings me back to the foundation because I didn't really discuss the finish of the foundation, which is very natural. It's a natural skin finish with a really lovely illuminating radiance to it, which I really like, and hopefully you can see and get a sense of. So when it comes to the bronzer, it's very complementary with that skin finish of the Serum foundation. So they work really well together. And I will show you that I do feel like you can apply this directly to the skin. So I'm just going to dab it on and then just kind of dab again with the brush. And it does work just fine. So again, even though it is a little bit more pigmented than the Merit Stick Bronzer, I do find that it's very easy to work with. So hopefully you're getting a sense of this really pretty color. I find it to be quite neutral. It does not lean orange in any way. And I will go ahead and compare away. I'll put a little bit on my cheeks here so that you can see the difference. This too does not lean orangey. I would say it's pretty neutral as well. So while I'm here with the bronzer, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on my eyelids. And again, this is a way that I'm putting on my eyelids. Just using my fingers. And this formula works really well on the eyelids. I have done this once before and I really liked how it looked. And right now, just seeing how this looks, I've got this mirror down here. I really, really love the look of this particular bronzer on my eyelids. And I really like the cohesiveness of the look, how it's blending with my cheeks and the overall vibe that it's giving with the bronzer. I think it's really flattering. So I could definitely see reaching for this in lieu of eyeshadow this coming summer. So I really do want to get to the blushes, and they do have blush sticks, and they did send me one color and they sent me Pinch. This is a peachy pink. And then I also purchased on my own Brownstone. So let me show you the colors. So this is Brownstone and this is a rusty red. And then as I mentioned, Pinch is a peachy pink. Now I will mention as a caveat, and this only happened with this product, when I got Pinch, and this is the one that they sent me in PR, when I took off the cap, the stick did fly out and it landed on the floor. So that's why this one might look a little bit beat up. Now, obviously I just picked it up off the floor and I stuck it back in the tube. It twists up and down, no problem. And now when I take the cap on and off, it seems really secure. All of the other products that I have, the bronzers, and I also got a highlighter that I'm going to talk about, as well as the other blush, those have not been an issue for me. So I don't know if it was just this particular product. So anyway, just something to be aware of. If you do buy these products, be cautious when you first open it up, and then maybe just take your finger and press down on it firmly just to make sure that it is secure in the packaging. But moving on to the actual product, I really do like being able to apply products directly to my skin, and this is what I have been doing with these cheek products without any issue. Just like the bronzer, in comparison to the Merit products, this blush stick is a little bit stiffer, a little bit more pigmented than the Flush Balms by Merit, but I have had no problems directly applying this to my skin. So I'm going to do so with Pinch. Like I said, this is the peachy pink. And then I'm going to take their multitasking brush to blend this in. And I'm applying this a little bit on the light side because I also want to put Brownstone on, and I want you to be able to see what that looks like. So obviously this has given me a little hint of a peachy pink flush. I was not heavy-handed with this. I wanted it to be very subtle. Like I said, I'm also going to be applying Brownstone. I'll go ahead and apply a little bit more so that you can see the color a little bit better. So there you go. And it's easy to build this color up because it is quite pigmented. And in comparison to the Merit Flush Balm it is more pigmented. So it is different in that way, but I will say I find it easy to blend. It's easy to work with. I really have been enjoying this blush formula a lot. I do highly recommend it. I do believe these blushes are $14.99, whereas the Flush Balms are $30. So these are half the price. So on that end, that is a pretty significant difference. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you Brownstone now. This is the Rusty Red. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on top of Pinch. I'm also gonna put it on the top of my nose. And this is such a beautiful color. Perfect for the summertime. It's definitely that sunburnt, terracotta, kind of brick color. And I really, really like it. Now, as you can see, it is quite pigmented, and I definitely need to do a little bit of blending. So I've grabbed my IT Cosmetics brush because I don't really want there to be a line of where my blush starts. Or stops, I should say. I might have gotten rid of a little bit too much of it, so I'm gonna apply a little bit more and now just use my fingers. And now I'm just gonna do it from the bullet, which might be a better method with this more pigmented color. Maybe blend it up into the eye color a little bit. So I think that's better. I think I initially applied a little bit too much and then I took away too much. So I think this is actually a really good application of Brownstone using my finger. I think that is a better method for Brownstone. So now I'm going to apply a little bit of eyeliner. They don't have an eyeliner in the Versed collection. So I'm just going to use the Victoria Beckham Bronze Eyeliner, which is a huge favorite of mine. So just a light swiping of it on the waterline gives a pretty good intensity with this product. And then I'm just gonna do a little bit on the upper lash line as well. And you hardly need any at all to get a pretty decent payoff. I just smudge that a little bit there. Now the next thing I'm going to do is apply the Versed mascara, and I got this in black. So they say that this is lifting and defining. It is also water resistant, and this is what the brush looks like. So it's not super skinny, but it's not super fat either. It's just kind of on the medium side. And this is a brush that feels quite utilitarian. So it's not super gentle feeling on the lashes like the Victoria Beckham brush, which feels very gentle, like it's cradling your lashes. This feels quite grippy and, like I said, utilitarian. It's not super harsh feeling, but it definitely has that grip on the lashes, which is fine, but it doesn't have an elegant feeling as you're brushing it through your lashes. But I will say it does a really nice job of lengthening the lashes. And even though it has that kind of grippy, utilitarian feeling on the lashes, I do like the effect that it has on my lashes. So let's go ahead and do the left side. So that's the end result. I think it does an excellent job of lengthening my lashes. I don't know as if I would say it's super excellent at defining. I do feel like it does a pretty good job of volumizing. I think there might be a little bit of a tendency to clump. So as I'm running the brush through my lashes, I need to be quite slow and deliberate, because if I'm doing it quickly and I'm not being precise enough, I do think there might be a slight chance of this clumping while I'm brushing it through my lashes. So that's the one caveat I would say about this mascara, is there might be a tendency to clump if you're doing this mascara in a hurry. Whereas with something like the IT Cosmetics Tightline Mascara, which is my everyday mascara, I don't really have to worry about that clumping. I can just cruise through my lashes with that brush, and I can be in a hurry, and I really don't have to worry about clumping with that mascara. which doesn't really seem to be the case with this one, but I really like the effect that it has on my lashes. So that's not a huge deal. I just need to be very deliberate as I'm applying this mascara. But as far as wear time throughout the day, I didn't feel like it clumped or smudged, but I have only worn this a few times. I really do feel like it takes months to really get to know a mascara, to see if you really do like it, to see if you're really reaching for it. So do stay tuned as the months progress to see if I actually really do like this mascara and if I do reach for it on a regular basis. Now let's go ahead and finish off with their lip products. They have two lip products. They have a tinted lip serum and they have a lip blush. Now they did send me their lip serum, and I spoke about this in my skincare video where I talked about the products that I brought on my trip to Palm Springs. So a little bit of a spoiler there if you saw that video. I am really enjoying the lip serum, but I am going to apply the lip blush first. But even before I do that, I am going to apply the Merit lip liner. This is a new launch from them, and I have actually had this lip liner for a long time. They sent this out to me in a holiday kit. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but I think it was a couple of years ago. And this was a limited edition product. So I don't think I've spoken about this product since I talked about that holiday kit, because I didn't want to talk about it because you were not able to get your hands on it. But I have been loving this lip liner ever since I got it. So now I'm so happy that I can actually talk about it because you can now get this product. So this is the lip liner from Merit in Bespoke. So I am going to go ahead and line my lips with this. And Bespoke is a pink brown. So this should work with both of the lip blushes that I have from Versed. My lips are now lined. I think I'm going to start with the lip blush in Scene, and this is a neutral pink, and they call their lip blushes a lip balm that give you a lived-in look, and this is Scene, S-C-E-N-E, and as I said, it is a neutral pink. And let's go ahead and get this on my lips. So you can see that Scene is a My Lips But Better color. So pretty, very natural looking. And this is really, really comfortable on the lips. And as far as all of these balmy type of lipsticks that have been super popular lately, I really do feel like this is one of the best. Now, Merit actually did come out with a balm, I forget what they called it, but it was a limited edition lipstick that was in their holiday lipstick kit just from this last December 2024. This is on par with that one that they put out. So as far as price point goes and what Versed is putting out, I really feel like they have nailed it with this formula. This is a very beautiful color, feels beautiful on the lips, so I really think that this is something to look at very seriously if you are a fan of this lipstick lip balm hybrid. The other color I got is Lounge, and this is a cool brown. And I just removed Scene, the neutral pink color. So I just need to reapply a little bit of the Merit Bespoke liner. And now we're going to apply Lounge, the cool brown. And Lounge is very pretty too, very, very wearable. I have mentioned in the past that cool browns on my skin tone, I feel like they can wash me out very, very quickly. This one I think is quite flattering on my skin tone, and I don't feel like I have to be careful with how much I am applying onto my lips. I don't feel like it's giving me too cool of a brown look, which definitely can wash me out very, very quickly. So I do think that this is a cool brown that is wearable for my skin tone. Now I've dabbed a little bit of Lounge off of my lips because I want to apply a little bit of the tinted lip serum on top. I have the color Compliment, which is a rosy taupe. One thing that I forgot to mention in the previous video where I spoke about this product is it does have a little bit of that minty sensation to it, which for some reason when I was wearing this in the sunny, hot weather of Palm Springs, I didn't notice it so much, but as I've been wearing it here at home, where it's been a little bit cooler, the minty sensation was a little bit more noticeable. So anyway, I don't know how that escaped me previously when I was wearing it, but I definitely noticed it more in the last few days that I've been wearing it at home. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this on my lips. I really, really love this product so much. This one is more glossy than the lip blush. The lip blush is not glossy at all. This one is a sheer tint that's going to give you a glossy shine. And this one feels amazing on the lips. This one feels a little bit more moisturizing, a little bit more like skincare, more so than I would say the lip blush. The lip blush just feels more like a matte type of balm. It still feels very comfortable on the lips, but this one gives you a little bit more of that emollients on your lips. It feels great. I really, really love it. Definitely getting a little bit of that minty sensation. Again, I don't know how that escaped me before, but definitely wanted to mention it in this video. So really, really love this product. And I love the shine that it gives the lips, but I do not feel like it's over the top at all. It's not tacky, it's not sticky. I really love how it looks on top of this lip blush, but I also really love wearing this on its own without any lip liner, just on a very casual day if I'm going to be playing tennis or if I'm going to be running errands. This is definitely something that I'm going to reach for. So I went ahead and put my hair down thinking I was done with the look, but I realized I forgot to talk about the Versed Illuminating Stick. Now they do have 3 colors and I chose Polished. Now this was something that I did purchase on my own, and Polished is a cool rose gold, and I really have been loving this color. This one is definitely, again, a little bit more on the stiff side when compared to the Merit Illuminating Stick, but I really feel like it glides across the skin very beautifully, and it gives a very subtle, natural glow. But you can see here the way the light is hitting my skin. The other products that I have on my face when it comes to the skin tint and also the bronzer and the blush, you can see that it is giving me illumination right here, the way that the light is reflecting off of my skin and my cheeks here. I do not have the illuminating stick on my skin here. This is all from the other products I have. So I just wanted to point that out, that these products are very illuminating. They do give your skin a really lovely radiance. So this illuminating stick is just going to amplify that a little bit. But I will point out that this illuminator does feel very nice on the skin. It's not super tacky, but you can feel it on the skin. And I really do like this color a lot. Even though it's called a cool rose gold, I do feel like it leans more warm. And I think you can see here that even though they describe this as a cool rose gold, you can see that it is quite neutral, even leaning a little bit warm. And I love the natural finish that it has. So it's not over the top when it comes to the illumination that it gives the skin. But I do hope you can see that it does provide some really pretty illumination that is quite natural. And I think this color, the peachy color that it provides, really blends in nicely with the colors that I do have on my skin. All right, so now I am officially done. I have the completed Versed makeup look on my skin. So I hope you all get the sense that I am overall very impressed with Versed. I really have been enjoying everything that I have tried from them. I do really like the foundation, but I will say that in terms of skin tints, I do tend to like something that is a little bit more on the sheer side. Like I really do love the Summer Friday sheer skin tint. That is something I would probably tend to reach for a little bit more. Or if I am looking for SPF, I would probably reach for the Josh Rosebrook Nutrient Day Cream or the Frey Tinted Moisturizer that has SPF in it. I did talk about that product in my recent video where I talked about what I brought to Palm Springs with me. So while I do really like this product and I think it gave me such a beautiful skin finish, this isn't necessarily something that I would reach for on a daily basis in terms of something that I would use for casual use. I think I would probably reach for this when I need more coverage, such as on the days where I'm filming and I do want a little bit more coverage. But other than this, I would say that pretty much everything else is a product that I would use on a day-to-day basis because they're all easy to use, they're very flattering, and it definitely goes along with my daily makeup look. Now, I know this video has been quite long, but I did want to mention real quickly the Detox Market box from March, and they're featuring products from Goop, and I've really been liking 2 of them, so I did want to mention them real quickly in this video because you can get this box through the end of March. So when it comes to Goop and Gwyneth Paltrow, I know that she has a lot of haters. I know she probably also has a lot of fans. I am just somewhere in the middle. I'm kind of here nor there when it comes to Gwyneth Paltrow and Goop. But when it comes to her products, if she does put out a product that I really like, I don't necessarily have a problem with going ahead and purchasing it. So let's go ahead and talk about these products. So in this box, which you can get on a monthly basis for $58.95, there is the Goop Glow Microderm Instant Glow Body Polish. There's also the Nutrient Shine Bath Hair Mask, as well as a travel size of the Microderm Instant Glow Exfoliator. Now, when it comes to the Microderm Instant Glow Body Polish, this is probably my favorite product from this box. So this is a scrub and body wash combination. So it's going to exfoliate your skin with micro exfoliating minerals, which is quartz powder, garnet powder, and aluminum and silica. And I really do like the texture of this body scrub. It's nice and thick and creamy, and then it does foam up into a lather. But what I like most about this product is the scent. It has a really interesting scent of cedar and juniper and citrus. And as you're rubbing it into your skin, it smells like it's this incredible cocktail of those 3 scents, the cedar, the juniper, and this citrusy scent. It just smells like somebody is whipping up this incredible boozy cocktail with those 3 scents swirling around the shower. I don't know what it is about this scent that makes it feel kind of boozy, sort of like vodka's in there or some kind of a tequila or something. But it just has this booziness that I really like. And I am not a drinker, so it's kind of fun to have this like cocktail experience in the shower. So I really like this body scrub. I have found it very enjoyable. I really like the texture, how it's this creamy scrub that turns into a body wash. So it's a big rave for me when it comes to the Goop Glow Microderm Instant Glow Body Polish. Now, as far as the Goop Glow Nutrient Skin Bath Hair Mask, I've had sort of a like-dislike experience when it comes to the scent. Now, when I first opened it up when I was in the shower, I really liked the scent a lot. I felt like I was walking into the place where I get massages. It kind of has that spa type of scent with a little bit of a Portland hippie vibe to it. It felt very comforting. It felt very familiar. But then when I got it into my hair, I realized that it has patchouli in it. So that probably explains a little bit of that hippie massage therapist type of vibe, which I don't necessarily mind in a environment type of experience, but when it comes to actually having it on my body or my hair, I don't necessarily want that scent, on my hair. So anyway, I had it on my hair and I thought, well, as long as it doesn't linger, it won't be too bad, but it definitely lingered for a day, which I didn't particularly love. But I will say that this mask is quite amazing. I really loved how my hair felt after I used it. And this is a mask that they recommend using once a week for 7 minutes on your hair. It does have bonding conditioners in here, so I think that's probably why it did such a really nice job of conditioning my hair. So I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to use this hair mask. It wasn't an awful experience. I could definitely tolerate it being in my hair. So I think I'm gonna give it another try and see how the scent works for me being in my hair. But I did want to talk about this product because it did work really well for my hair, which is on the thick side. It's on the curly-ish, wavy side, definitely can lean frizzy. So for me, it worked well when it comes to how it conditioned my hair, how it nourished my hair, but it does have patchouli in it. So for those of you who love patchouli, you might want to check this out. But for those of you who don't like patchouli, you might want to proceed with caution. And then finally, when it comes to the Goop Glow Microderm Instant Glow Exfoliator, this is a 3-minute mask that has glycolic acid in it, and then it also has the micro exfoliating minerals in it. So again, that's the quartz, garnet, and aluminum and silica. For me, this is a little bit too aggressive of a mask. I'm not huge on those physical exfoliants, and I did find it to be a little bit too aggressive, like I said. So this is not a mask that I would use. I just did not enjoy it. I personally don't think this is a reason to not get the box because this is just a little travel size. So I would not let this steer steer you away from getting the box. If you are interested in the conditioning mask or the body polish, then I would definitely say go for it. But the Microderm Instant Glow Exfoliator is so small. Again, I don't really think this is a reason to either get it or not get it, but I thought I would just mention that this is not a product that is particularly for me or that I particularly enjoyed. So that does wrap it up on my review and full face of Versed makeup, as well as my thoughts on the Goop Glow Box with the Detox Market. Like I said, that is available through March. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you have not yet subscribed, I would love it if you would do so. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.